Thank you so much for coming here. We're so honored to have you here today, and I do not take this for granted. Thank you for being the lead sponsor of YEP 2026. So, 24 hours ago, I saw the big news that Ripple, a United States based blockchain company, made a huge cash investment in Flutterwave just 24 hours ago. Flutterwave now hits $3.2 billion in Ripple backed Series E. So I was wondering, what is Series E? So I went to check it out. I saw that it means Flutterwave has successfully completed its fifth major stage of equity investment at an overall corporate valuation in that multi-billion-dollar range. Incredible. It starts from just one dream, just one idea. So let's start from the beginning. Tell us about your entrepreneurship journey, the origin, how Flutterwave was conceived, the inspiration, and the early decisions that shaped everything that followed.
Thank you so much. Honored to be here. My sister, this is an amazing platform she has built. I was so proud to be a part of this year. My name is Olugbenga GB Agbola. I'm the founder and CEO of Flutterwave. My background is really software engineering. I started my career almost 22 years ago with PayPal as an engineer. And before then, like everybody else here, went to university, graduated. I think the key thing about whatever we choose to do or the path we are in life is about understanding the value of excellence and consistency. That is so important, right? And that is about every decision you make from the day you have the ability to make a decision. I'm talking to the core members here right now because that is very key. Being here today also reminds me of when I was also a core member, and those decisions were part of what led us here today. So, software engineering background, got an opportunity to work for some of the biggest companies in the world after NYC as well. Worked for PayPal in the UK, Sandbank of South Africa, Stanbic, Sterling, GT Bank, Access, Google. Before finding Flutterwave. So I think being able to hold what was given to me and hold it well, treat it with excellence and be consistent, that is a very big piece of how, Flutterwave was founded. The whole idea of Flutterwave was all about money movement. And that money movement idea came because I worked for companies who were in money movement business, banks and whatnot. And I think for me, the problem that I saw was in 2016, no, it was in 2012. And it was about the fact that there is a fragmentation of payments across the continent. Whilst Africa is very blessed, Nigeria, for example, has one of the most advanced payment systems in the world today. That's very true. Money moves to Nigeria at the speed of light. You send money to somebody, they get the money instantly. That is not, by the way, standard. If you go to the US and you send money, it's not real time, right? Even Europe and the UK, faster payments came after Nigeria's NIP was built, right? So Nigeria has been at the forefront of technology even before Flutterwave was created. So, however, Nigeria's NIP powered by NIPS, which is absolutely fantastic, does not work in Kenya. It doesn't work in Ghana. It doesn't work in every country in Africa. So it means that what you see and enjoy in Nigeria that is so amazing does not work that same way in Ghana. They've got their own type. They've got the MTN mobile money in Ghana, which is also fantastic. They've got M-Pesa in Kenya, also fantastic. So seeing all these amazing, great systems in each country, you see the fact that there is no interoperability of solutions, right? Each of them works well, but there's no way they are connected. Imagine side roads on the streets, but there's no highway that connects everyone together. And the whole idea was, how can we build a highway that connect all the side roads together, the roads that goes to your house are now all of a sudden more important because all of a sudden there's a highway that connects everything. That's what Flutter really is. We're just an infrastructure of infrastructures. We're connecting payment systems together. That's level one, base level. And then we're building products that a consumer can use to leverage that infrastructure. So now, I want to send money into Kenya. I want to send money into the UK. You don't have to use the UK system. You can use SendUp. You sign up. You can send money from right now to the UK and you get the money real time, literally. That is what infrastructure builds for you. So that is how we started, saying that there is a problem that needs to be solved. And that problem was only evident to me because I was someone in my last employment. I was someone that will go above and beyond what I was told to do. Even though I was an engineer, if there was a commercial problem, I want to be there when it's being solved. I want to understand how do we translate engineering infrastructure to commercial value. So I enjoy going to see customers a lot, understanding what they're doing, what their problems were, and helping them to solve that problem. And that was what led to seeing a whole. Even though we were a bank at that time, we're just a bank in each country. We're not actually a global payment system. There's a gap that existed. And that was the beginning of Flutterwave. And I named it Flutterwave because I thought about the fact that the chaos theory, the butterfly effect, where a small thing can create a ripple in an ecosystem. So I thought about the fluttering of a butterfly's wing can create waves. I took the flutter and the wave, made it one word, Flutterwave.
Oh, wow. That's so amazing. Okay, so I was hoping there was something that I wanted you to talk about. So I listened to you share your story about how you worked with Access Bank, all the great work you did with Access Bank. And then you started Flutterwave. And you went to the late Herbert Wigwe and you said you wanted to leave Access Bank. And he said, no, don't leave yet. And you stayed back for 2 years. And you stayed back for 2 years. We have a lot of young people seated here this afternoon. When a young person says, I want to move, you can't stop them. So I learned a lot from that experience, and I want you to talk about it because he started Flutterwave, went to the MD CEO of Access Bank, and he said he wanted to leave, but the MD CEO of Access Bank said, don't leave, stay back here. He stayed back for 2 years, even after founding Flutterwave. Guess what? He was going to get one of his biggest breaks initially with Uber. And he was meant to go for an interview in the United States to start handling the payment gateway for Uber. And he had to go back to Herbert Wigwe. Let me not share the story. Say it, it's more interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting story of how we have to also have character and have attitude towards your work, right? When I went to start Florida, I went to my boss then. I said, look, I wanted to go and start this company. And it was an entrepreneur through and through. It was like, well, I've been waiting for you to say you want to do something again because I'm a serial entrepreneur. So, and he said, okay, sure, but you're still on a couple of banking projects that needs to be delivered. What's the plan? I said, okay, you have to stay back. And I was like, sure, I will stay back. And I will ensure that those things get completed as they should be. And I stayed back for 2 more years. In that 2 years, I was both the founder of Flutterwave and also working at Access Bank because it was just important to get that in done and not burn that bridge. Very important. And that bridge will end up being a very massive bridge that helped Flutterwave throughout our growth as a company. Interestingly, right, we were trying to get one of the biggest enterprise clients at that time. That was Uber. I recall seeing that Uber had a problem with payments across Africa. I went to pitch them. And it was just one young guy, very tall. They didn't know who I was, pitching them about payments. And I knew that the question they would ask me was, how will you keep our money safe? Right? So I was like, okay. I went to my boss and said, sir, there's an opportunity here that we need to do with Uber. How do the payment? The bank will bank the money, right? I want you to help me go and pitch them together. And guess what? He actually got on a plane, came with me to San Francisco to pitch that customer till they said yes. And that is an important point to make because imagine I had burned that bridge. Imagine I had not understood the power of consistency and finishing what you started. And even when you finish it, understanding that there's a relationship beyond the transaction or the work that is very, very important and that needs to be nurtured and grown. And that was what was one of the biggest pieces. And you have no idea how transformational that was. That client was like, wow, that you could bring the CEO of one of the biggest banks across, Africa and Nigeria to this meeting. It's an indication of trust. So that means we can also trust you with our payment, even though it's underwriting the deal. But the point is, we can trust you with our payment. So that is a very, very key factor that I think has helped us, throughout my journey. And I think that's what you're going to see in building a company, in building anything in life, not just a company, in building relationships, in building your career. Trust is very, very key. And across your journey, you will meet what I call angels. In the US, we call them angel investor. But beyond that investing capital, they're also investing relationships, credibility, net worth, connections that they have nurtured and built over the years. One of what I was with some other people yesterday, and we're talking about that, about the fact that you need to build and nurture relationships. Not even just when you think it's important. I think it's more important when you don't think it's important. Because that's when you are sowing the seeds that in the future will then germinate, right? And always remember that in this journey, we have to try to be the plumbing or the tap. Be the person that flows things through, not that just draws from it. We have to operate from a giving mentality because guess what? That is how you sow seeds naturally. And those are just principles of life that I've seen work in my life and I've seen also work with people that have given me their platform to actually work on.
This is so powerful and this is inspiring. Most of the young people here today, I want us to remember this part of this conversation, that relationship is more than money. Relationship is valuable. It's so interesting how I met GB. So early in the morning one day I woke up and then on my WhatsApp status I saw Dr. Stanley Uzochukwu post a picture of his tunnel trailers on the queue, maybe like 30 of them, And then I sent him a message. I said, I'm so proud of you. This is amazing. And he called me. I was like, love, thank you so much for always celebrating with me. When is this your event? GB needs to get on this. He now did a three-way call, added GB to the call and said, Flutterwave, love, leave all those your sponsors. Flutterwave is handling everything. And that's how I met him. Relationship. His Excellency, the Deputy Speaker, did something that always touches me. I wanted to say this something that touched me, but I know he's always touching me. So when we're planning this event, I was like, love, what do you want me to do? Okay, you want to invite this one, so bring the letters. He sat down with his hand. He was signing letters. I was so touched. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. This is relationship. When we met His Excellency, we didn't know he was going to be Deputy Speaker. We will sit with him in the office till 9 p.m., 10 p.m. as spokesperson of the House. We'll be working on magazines. We'll be doing different things for National Assembly. He'll tell us, I'm not impressed with this. He has made us 1,000 times better. We never knew that a day will come that he'll be the number 6 person in Nigeria. Relationship. The DJ of NYSC is seated here today. I met him 9 years ago. I was planning events for Nigerian Army. I think he was a colonel when I met him. And they'll say, go and sit with Colonel Nafiu and plan the event. I always go to his office. So when I heard that he was DJ, I was so excited. And he did something that touched me. Just last month, 2 months ago, my birthday, our team got him to do a surprise video and it moved me to tears. Relationship is more than money. He started Flutterwave. He wanted to leave Access Bank. His boss said, wait. He waited for 2 years. Today, most of the young people we have, I'm sure they say, wait, no, I'm going. I cannot wait. One thing I tell young people when I go to NYC camp, Mumu will take you far in this life. Nobody is looking for somebody that is too intelligent. People are looking for people who are Mumu. When a politician, I crave your intelligence, the national chairman is here. When a politician is looking for somebody to hand over power to, he looks for the Mumu. If you are too wise, they will not give you. Mumu will take you far in this life. So finally, we're wrapping up now. tell us about some of the great alliances with Flutterwave has with other great brands, from Uber to Meta to, and all. Tell us about it and your greatest challenge and how you overcame it.
So the journey of an entrepreneur is a journey of ups and downs. And the downs are not designed for you to be down. They are just challenges to create a new terrain. For every new phase or stage you're going into, there has to be some sort of examination. And that's how the journey of life works. It's like the school of life. That's the way I see it, right? Through that journey of Flutter Wave, we've had our constant highs, sometimes lows, but we've always been overcoming for so many reasons. One big one is, like I said before, the Herbert story that I mentioned of blessed memory. Another one is the story of people that just carry you and take you places. One example of that, of a brand we've partnered with at Flutter Wave, is the Double Hotel, right? That's one of our biggest hotel customers today as a company, right? It's a luxury 5-star hotel in Lagos. I'm sure some of you know it. But what is key about that story is how we got that relationship, right? I had the Harry and Meghan event at the Double where Prince Harry came to Nigeria. I was invited to that event by Dr. Simon Zochukwu, who is the founder and CEO of the Stanley Group and the Double Hotel. And that was how that journey started. And since then, we've onboarded all of the Stanley Group businesses as our clients. The Stanley Oil and Gas businesses, the Stanley Mart, the Stanley Luxury Travel Group, all of that is now a Flutter Wave customer. And that is the power of partnership and also resilience in relationship management. The other piece is also how we got customers like Airpeace to use us, right? And how we become a catalyst for other business to grow. Airpeace was aspiring to the UK, for example. And the question is, who will understand that the average Nigerian is actually a great talent and not a questionable character? It has to be a Nigerian in Nigeria that understands that. We're the best picture of a Nigerian is a Nigerian, if you ask me. So imagine Airpeace moving to the UK, and Flutterwave was the natural best partner for Airpeace UK expansion. Because they were able to move to the UK successfully, start operating. People could buy tickets on our platform because we are already in the UK to make that happen. And one thing that we learned there was, in our customer journey growth, being able to see ahead of our customers and put ourselves in their shoes has been a major factor to drive our growth as a company. Right? Thinking about what's the next step for Hairpiece, what's the next step for that customer in entertainment, or that customer in hospitality, or that customer in e-commerce, because we are constantly looking at how do we help our customers to grow their business. We run an enabling business. We don't ever grow if our customers do not grow. We power their payments and their finances, now also their banking, right? But we need them to grow. Our growth is very 100% dependent on our customers. So naturally, we look at how do we find our customers, help them to grow? How do we look at for their business? How do we ensure that they actually are able to see they can expand their growth through our platform? What we've been able to do as a company right now is, if you're a small business in Abuja or Lagos, wherever you are in Nigeria, if you sell just in your local neighborhood, imagine what happens when you move to Flutterwave and you can sell to anyone anywhere in the world. You will naturally expand your market size just because the payment system has changed to something that is global. And that is how we give our customers the opportunity to grow their business through our platform. So our platform is really just an enabler infrastructure. We grow when our customers grow. So for us, payment is just one word: partnerships.
Oh, that's amazing. So finally, the last question is, what is your most urgent and pressing message to a young Nigerian seated here this afternoon?
I want you to know that the world is your oyster. That's very key. You are limited only by your own mental ambition right now. We're in a world whereby there's generative AI in the world right now. You can learn anything you want to learn in the world. Just have the curiosity to actually go and try it. AI is so affordable and accessible to anyone, that you can be anything you want to be in this world. But are you learning from those platforms? Are you actually investing your little wages into how you can grow? This is not the time to be out there. This is time to lock in and invest in your future. And that investment will pay off in another 5 to 10 years. But just understand where you are. Congrats for where you are right now, but not yet. Because guess what? Like my sister mentioned, in another 1 year, there will be leaders and there will be laggards. You have a choice. Where will you be? Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. It was nice having you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.